Y'all, Diddy's son, Christian Combs, is not here for Jay-Z's disappearing act and has put Jay-Z on blast for betraying Diddy in the middle of his legal woes. Jay-Z used to be one of Diddy's closest allies, but he switched up on him quickly once the feds came knocking, and he hasn't looked back since. Well, it looks like Christian Combs has a lot of dirt on Jay-Z. He is now threatening to snitch on Jay-Z, not only to the feds, but also to the public. He just confirmed that the first he has is worse than anything we can imagine. This is about to be a hot mess because Christian did not come to play with Jay-Z. Y'all remember how folks have been buzzing about Jay-Z possibly being the next big name in Hollywood to get exposed? Well, word on the street is that Diddy's son Christian has been out here working to make that happen and has supposedly been spilling tea on Jay-Z as payback for abandoning his dad and cutting ties completely. Unless you've been living under a rock for the past year, you probably already know that Jay-Z and pretty much everyone else in the industry has been distancing themselves from Diddy because of all the allegations from his ex, Cassie, Lil Rod, and other victims, plus the ongoing federal investigation. I'm not about to dive into the details of the allegations, but they were bad enough for Diddy to get fully canceled by the industry. He even got uninvited from the Grammys and was cut off by all his industry buddies. What's wild is that he seems extra bitter about Jay-Z cutting him off, because now word on the street is that Christian is allegedly on a mission to make sure Jay-Z is the next one to fall. To give some context on why Christian is so mad at Jay-Z, these two weren't just casual industry pals. They were super close, like bestie level tight. Diddy even once said that Jay-Z and his mom were the only two people in the world who could call him by his real name, Sean. So you know that betrayal stings a little extra.
There's only one person.
Oh, go on.
And I call him Sean. That's Jay-Z. We call each other Sean.
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody else could call me Sean.
He's the only person who's Sean approved.
There's not a single person that
outside of family.
That should be outside of my mother.
Okay, just
that should be calling me. Yeah, that should be calling me Sean.
So, Diddy probably thought Jay-Z was gonna stick by him during all this mess, but Jay-Z hit him with a big psych and dipped out quicker than you could blink. Honestly, it shouldn't be all that shocking, because Jay-Z has a history of bailing on people when things get messy, especially if it might come back to bite him. Remember, Jay-Z was tight with R. Kelly back when R. Kelly faked those court docs to marry Aaliyah before she even turned 18, and he was already in his 30s. R. Kelly managed to dodge jail time for falsifying documents and marrying a minor, and the whole time Jay-Z stayed cool with him, even knowing about that shady relationship. They even did a joint tour together, and just like his friendship with Diddy, Jay-Z and R. Kelly were pretty close. But the second R. Kelly was convicted for all those SA charges, and the truth came out, Jay-Z distanced himself real quick, as if their friendship had never even existed. So yeah, his switch up on Diddy shouldn't have caught anyone off guard. But it looks like Diddy was still holding on to that best friends forever mindset, thinking Jay would ride with him. But Jay-Z was not about to risk his own reputation over it anyway. It's been months since everything went down, and things aren't looking any better for Diddy. He's still basically a pariah in the industry. Now, it seems like he's on some, if I'm going down, we're all going down type of vibe. Because word on the street is that he's snitching on Jay-Z, and Jay is allegedly being lined up as the next one to get exposed. He's getting his son, Christian, to do his dirty work for him. For years, there have been whispers about Jay-Z being involved in some shady activities, but nothing's ever stuck. Part of the reason could be that a lot of these alleged incidents happened way back before the internet blew up like it does now. There were no camera phones, no viral moments, so it was basically his word against the accusers, and not like anyone even came forward back then. Plus, Jay-Z has always been smart about covering his tracks and making sure there aren't any loose ends or anything that could link back to him. He's been careful enough to keep things under wraps, so nothing's ever come to light. But if Christian is really out here spilling tea, that could all change real quick.
What's that?
Sean Carter is worse.
Uh-oh. Oh, man.
He's smarter. He's patient. He's not sloppy.
Mm-hmm.
He been lining up people he calls friends and stepping to the side while they get hit by the guillotine for 30 fucking years.
But as y'all know, there's no such thing as a perfect crime, and word on the streets is that Diddy might have some dirt on Jay-Z that he passed on to Christian, if you catch my drift. Folks first started side-eyeing the whole situation when Jay-Z didn't host his annual Rock Nation brunch this year. Now, if you know Jay-Z, you already know he doesn't play when it comes to that brunch. It's a major event. Everyone who's anyone in the industry pulls up, and people go all out just to get an invite. Jay-Z has been hosting this brunch every single year since 2010, no matter what. The only time it didn't happen was during the pandemic, and let's be real, nobody was throwing parties back then because it was illegal to have big gatherings. But outside of that, this brunch has been a fixture. And Diddy? He's been a regular at the event every single year without fail, part of his whole bromance with Jay-Z. But this year, for obvious reasons, Jay couldn't exactly invite Diddy to the brunch. Fans were curious to see how it would go down. And there was even speculation on whether Jay would take the risk and invite him or just ghost Diddy altogether. People were placing bets on how it would play out. And when Jay-Z didn't host the event at all, it just added fuel to the fire. Fans immediately started speculating about what could have caused them to cancel the brunch, and there was concern that something serious had happened to Jay-Z or Beyonce. But they denied this, claiming that instead of hosting their pre-Grammys brunch, they were going to be attending another pre-Grammy gala to support their friend and CEO of Sony Music Publishing, John Platt, who was honored with the event's Grammy Salute to Industry Icons Award. This didn't make sense for a lot of reasons. For one, Jay-Z was also being honored with the Global Icon Award at the Grammys, so by this logic, he should have thrown his brunch to celebrate, right? Plus, if they wanted to attend Clive Davis's party that badly to show their support, then they could have held the brunch before or after Clive's party. I mean, it's not like they have a particular date that's set in stone for them to hold the event, so what gives? Well, fans are now convinced that the real reason they canceled is that they didn't want Diddy at the event, and they were just using Clive's party as an excuse and a cover-up. It was the perfect cover-up because even if they had chosen not to invite Diddy, people would still be talking about how they were distancing themselves, and it would have caused a lot of drama. If there is one thing we should know about Jay-Z and Beyonce, it's that they hate drama and try to avoid it at all costs. So, yeah. Their canceling the brunch definitely raised questions about what they're trying to hide. This brings us to the alleged tea that Christian supposedly has on Jay-Z. A while back, rumors started swirling that Jay-Z was allegedly keeping Beyonce tied to him using drugs. Several insiders claimed that Jay had supposedly been giving Beyonce drugs to keep her in check. Fans have been worried for a minute now, especially because Beyonce has, at times, looked like she's not all there when she's out in public with him. One example people point to is a video from a basketball game where Beyonce was swaying and nodding her head in a way that seemed kinda off. Fans were buzzing, saying she looked out of it, almost like she was high or something. It definitely had folks wondering what was really going on behind the scenes.
Security Solutions hero of the game, Glenn Markman, New York City. As longtime real estate executive for Christian Wakefield, Glenn had the foresight years ago to know what Brooklyn could become and played an important role in the renaissance of our thriving world. In addition, Glenn was a key player in helping the final team's future HSS training center location in Sunset Park, Brooklyn. Glenn also gives back to the community as the founder of Brooklyn 1834, which provides a forum for the world's up-and-coming artists. Due to illness, Glenn could not be here today. He's done this with the same determination that he used to make Brooklyn a better place. Glenn is represented tonight by his wife Jan and his children Theo and Edie. Please join SW24 Security Solutions and the Nets and show your appreciation for his leadership and his contribution to bringing Brooklyn to this today.
Yeah, this is exactly the kind of information that would destroy Jay-Z if it ever got out. And what makes it even messier is the rumor that Diddy allegedly played a part in it. Word on the streets is that Diddy might have been helping Jay-Z drug Beyonce. So it's a little strange that Christian would even bring this up, considering it could expose his own father. But honestly, if those allegations were true, it's not that wild to think Diddy would be involved. I mean, just look at the disturbing claims Cassie made in her lawsuit about what Diddy did to her. He's clearly no stranger to dark and twisted behavior. And let's not forget that Jaguar Wright had some tea of her own about Jay-Z and Diddy's relationship, hinting that there was some shady business going on between the two of them. It's not hard to believe they might have had some dealings we don't know about.
With Biggie and building a working, camaraderie with Honeycombs. and AKA, Diddy, and
why do you give him the honeycombs? Why do you give him honeycombs?
Because he smacks so sweet. That sodomite. Anyway.
Speaking of Jaguar, y'all noticed how she has never been sued? I mean, sure, she has been threatened but never sued, and I think that in itself speaks volumes. She also backed up the bodyguard's claims about how Beyonce was allegedly being drugged by Jay-Z.
He's a monster. And I've known he's a monster for years.
Mm-hmm.
I waited a long time to see if he would grow a conscience. And the more he pumps down his wife's throat to keep her in a character.
No, girl.
She then compared Beyonce's situation to that of Britney Spears, asking fans to start a Free Beyonce campaign because she is a prisoner in her marriage and she is trapped.
Not my beautiful Beyonce 5.
I tell you this right now, y'all talking about Free Britney. Y'all need to be doing a campaign that say Free Beyonce.
The Beyonce is free.
She is a prisoner in a gilded cage.
Oh, God, no. If Beyonce is in prison, she is in one of the most expensive prisons ever.
Yes, she is. And she's watched 24 hours a day. She's not allowed to make a choice for herself, not at all, not in any way.
Oh.
People think she has an amazing life. She is told what to say. She is told what to eat. She is told what to drink. She is told what to wear.
By whom?
She is not her husband's wife. She is his employee. It's a business arrangement. She was a dowry.
Fans also noticed something weird at the Grammys last year. When Jay-Z offered her a drink, she refused to take it, and Jay-Z looked offended.
Welcome back to the Grammys, everybody. You know, when you equal a record, there's no way you don't get to hold your Grammy in your hand and celebrate that.
So yeah, if Christian were to spill this tea on Jay-Z, well, let's just say that he is going to break the internet. Let's not even get into how Jay-Z has been cheating on Beyonce and how he basically admitted that he cheated on Beyonce and treated her so badly that he broke her spirit. In his song 444, he said, "I said, don't embarrass me instead of be mine. That was my proposal for us to go steady. I seen the innocence leave your eyes. I still mourn its death. And I apologize to all the women whom I toyed with your emotions, 'cause I was emotionless." The wild part about this is that Christian spilling this tea on Jay-Z would only make things worse for Diddy, because it also directly implicated Diddy. This makes me wonder if Christian knows that Diddy is cooked by the feds one way or another, and he doesn't care what happens as long as he gets to take Jay-Z down with Diddy. I'm not gonna lie, Christian doesn't exactly come off as being very bright, because he pretty much snitched on Diddy after Homeland Security raided their houses earlier this year, and he even tried to pick a fight with 50 Cent of all people. So either Christian is trying to expose Diddy and get him in more trouble, or he isn't just that bright. But y'all, let me know what you think about this. What do you think about Christian threatening Jay-Z like this? Let me know in the comments.
She jumped down, she was like, "Oh," and I'm like, wait, what is she doing? That stuff, that's me and Jay-Z stuff. This ain't got nothing to do with you, bro.
You lucky Solange wasn't there.
Yeah, you lucky Solange wasn't
Solange was there, I would have had to reboot.
Not Beyonce filing for divorce from Jay and separating her assets from his. Who could have known that Jay-Z being outed for being a bad guy would be the last stray for Beyonce to file for divorce and leave Jay-Z? Chilly, this woman has stayed with him through thick and thin and through multiple affairs, and it was starting to look like she was never ever going to leave him no matter what. But now that he is being set up to take the fall like Diddy, she is dipping. You know how everyone's been pointing fingers at Jay-Z, accusing him of being the master manipulator, pulling strings behind the scenes, and allegedly coercing Beyonce into some shady dealings? Well, turns out, according to 50 Cent, we've had it all wrong. He's stepping up to spill the beans, claiming that not only is Beyonce just as bad as Jay-Z, but she might even be worse. And he's dishing out some pretty shocking examples of her alleged antics. But hold on to your hats, because 50 Cent's not done yet. He's shining a spotlight on Beyonce's alleged scheme to make Jay-Z take the fall for their messiness. Yep, he's suggesting that by divorcing him, she's setting him up for failure, ready to toss him under the bus when the going gets tough. And let me tell you, this revelation's got us all reeling. Could this be why Jay-Z's been on a love-professing spree lately? Seems like there's a whole lot more to this story than meets the eye, so let's break this tea down.
Beyonce and Jay-Z will do anything to destroy anyone who speaks out against them. Hey, I get the threats. But you have to remember one thing. I know your deepest secrets. I know so much about you and what you've done. I know so much on how you got where you are. How you stepped on many people. Beyonce. How you guys ended Carrie Hilson's career because she said something about you. That's how hateful you guys are. How you step on anybody to stay on the top. To remember,
There have been reports for a couple of weeks now that Beyoncé was going to be taking a walk from her marriage following the recent accusations linking her husband, Jay-Z, to Diddy. There has been talk for a couple of years now that Jay-Z and Diddy have allegedly been involved in some seriously shady stuff, but that was just some pesky rumors among fans. But now it looks like there might be more to the rumors than we know, because the feds are allegedly involved in this already, and y'all can bet that Queen Bee is not about to stick around and go down with this sinking ship. Word on the streets is that she has allegedly set the move in motion to officially end her marriage, but she is keeping it as quiet and as private as possible because she doesn't want to deal with the drama. No matter what people say about Beyoncé, one thing that nobody can deny is that she is as private and low-key as possible, and that's how she wants to handle this divorce. An insider revealed that Beyoncé plans to pull a Will and Jada move where she gets divorced from Jay-Z, but she won't make the official announcement until the feds make their case against him, after which she plans to announce that they have been divorced for a while, but chose to be civil because of the kids, blah blah blah, you know, the usual mambo jumbo. But hold on, because there's a crazy plot twist here. According to rapper 50 Cent, Beyoncé allegedly has an ulterior motive for divorcing Jay-Z. 50 is claiming that the real reason she is divorcing is that she is allegedly trying to cover her own tracks so the feds don't pick up her trail. You see, according to 50 Cent, not only was Beyoncé allegedly aware of Diddy and Jay-Z's alleged activities, but she also participated in some really shady activities as well that could land her in hot water with the feds. So she is trying to dip as fast as she can. And one thing you can trust 50 to do, it's spilling the tea on shady shenanigans in Hollywood, especially when it's people he has beef with. And there is nobody that he has a bigger beef with than Beyoncé and Jay-Z. Well, Diddy comes pretty close, so y'all can see why 50 has been on this drama since day one. Well, as it turns out, 50 has heard the inside tea on how Beyoncé is planning to leave Jay-Z, and he is determined to make sure that she also faces some consequences. So he has been exposing her as well. He literally took a break from trolling Diddy and Jay-Z to focus on Beyoncé because he wants us to know that she is not what she seems to be, and that the victim identity that fans gave her couldn't possibly be further from the truth. According to 50, the reason people think that Beyoncé is an innocent bystander is that there is a considerable age gap between her and Jay-Z. In an interview, Beyoncé spoke about their age gap, saying, "I was 18 when we first met, 19 when we started dating. There was no rush. No one expected me to run off and get married." They officially started dating when Beyoncé was 19 and Jay-Z was 31, a substantial age gap that had fans buzzing, with some even tossing around speculations. But here's where things take a darker turn. In a 2007 interview with Charlie Rose, Jay-Z mentioned meeting Beyoncé 10 years ago, placing their first encounter in 1997. So let's crunch some numbers here. Beyoncé would have been a mere 16 years old at the time. Heck, depending on the exact timing, she might have even been 15. And Jay-Z, well, he was pushing his late 20s, around 27 or 28. Wrap your head around that for a second. A guy his age going after a teenager like Beyoncé? That's not just shady, it's downright messed up. Understandably, a lot of folks view Beyoncé as the victim in this whole saga. Whenever Jay-Z is under fire for his alleged shady dealings, Beyoncé tends to get pushed to the sidelines in the conversation. Even when there are whispers about the power couple using their influence to throw wrenches into other folks' careers in the industry, the focus remains mostly on Jay-Z, while Beyoncé gets a free pass, what with her being the media's golden child and all. But hold your horses, cause 50 Cent isn't having any of that. Nope, he's ready to spill the tea and clear the air. When blogger Storm Monroe dropped the bomb about how Beyoncé was making plans to leave Jay-Z a couple of months back, fans immediately started painting Beyoncé as the hero for finally cutting ties with Jay-Z, giving her a round of applause for making such a bold move.
What I've heard about them as a couple is that they've been living separate lives for a very long time. So they together, but they living separate. And part of the reason why they're already living separate lives, and we may actually see one of the biggest divorces in Hollywood, is because Jay-Z's up next to be exposed. And it's only so much of these stories that Jay-Z can, he can pay off or he can block. He won't be able to stop this. And she knows it and he knows it too. As far as who's gonna be the breakout victim / story, I don't know. Yeah, I might have to ask you something. I don't know. But I'm just letting you know that once that comes out and Jay-Z is exposed for his nefarious past, you're gonna see Beyonce divorce. Okay, and she may or may not do an interview, but you're gonna their publicist is gonna release something. She's gonna say, "Oh, the Carters have been separated for some time. They built this beautiful life." Blah 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 blah.
Fans were obsessed with the thought that Beyonce was finally going to be free of Jay-Z's control and manipulation, especially because Storm Monroe claimed that the time for Jay-Z to face the music was getting closer because he was about to be exposed. And we're not just talking about your everyday scandals here, like Jay-Z supposedly meddling with careers or whatnot. No, we're talking about bombs that could blow the lid off the entire industry, Diddy-level secrets that could rock everything to its core. Storm's comments set the internet on fire, but as it turns out, he wasn't the first person to clock the tea about Jay-Z being exposed because Jaguar Wright did us that favor last year. After Cassie's lawsuit dropped, Jaguar straight up came out to reveal that Jay-Z was next in line to be exposed and that some moves were being put in motion to expose his allegedly sinister activities.
Sean Carter is worse.
Oh, man.
He's smarter. He's patient. He's not sloppy.
Mm-hmm.
This been lining up people he calls friends and stepping to the side while they get hit by the guillotine for 30 fucking years.
And thinking back, the friendship between Jay-Z and Diddy kind of makes sense now. You know, birds of a feather and all that stuff. And now that the streets are saying that Jay-Z could be even shadier and more sinister than Diddy, y'all know that the rumor mill has gone into overdrive. I mean, have y'all seen the allegations that Diddy is facing? To say that Jay-Z could be even worse than that is just scary. And it kind of makes us wonder what exactly these celebs get into when the cameras stop rolling. The worst thing we thought about Jay-Z was that he was an unrepentant cheat who had the audacity to cheat on the Beyonce with multiple women. And if you're wondering, Becky with the good hair isn't the only woman that Jay-Z has been accused of cheating with, because there's a whole laundry list of them. According to people in the know, the honeymoon phase of Beyonce and Jay-Z's relationship didn't last very long because he allegedly started cheating on her only a few months after they started dating, and one of his alleged mistresses is rapper Charlie Baltimore. Back in the day, there were heavy rumors about Jay-Z and Charlie being a thing. The interesting thing here is that allegedly Jay-Z was involved with Charlie before he even met Beyonce, but he chose to keep her as his side piece because he didn't think that she fit the image of what he wanted in a partner. For those not in the loop, Charlie used to be involved with rapper Notorious B.I.G., aka Biggie Smalls, back in the day. Charlie was fine being the other woman for a while, but she soon got upset when Jay-Z started flaunting his relationship with Beyonce, even though Charlie knew him first, and that was the breaking point for her, so she broke things off with him. One thing about Jay-Z is that he is obsessed with control and didn't take it well when Charlie dumped him, especially since she moved on with another man instead of pining after him like he wanted. And it didn't take long for things to get dark. Remember when Jay-Z got arrested for knifing a man in the club? Jay-Z claimed the guy leaked his album and distributed illegal copies, but 50 Cent is calling BS on that story. According to 50, the real reason that Jay-Z stabbed the guy was that Jay-Z found out that he was the guy that Charlie replaced him with, and he got jealous, so he stabbed the guy. I don't know about y'all, but getting jealous at your former affair partner for moving on while you're dating Beyonce is crazy. I mean, make it make sense, and 50 Cent isn't just talking out of thin air. Rapper Cam'ron's come forward to back him up, confirming that the stabbing was indeed over Charlie.
It wasn't over no money. It wasn't over being righteous. What was it over? A chick? What we don't do is we don't fuck with our homies' ex-bitch.
Bow.
You feel me?
You know who that is now, right?
He said bow. Charlie Baltimore.
There you go.
Now, with all this, y'all would think that 50 would be on Beyonce's side in this thing, but that's not the case here, because he isn't exactly on Team Beyonce. See, according to 50 Cent, even though Jay-Z is a bad guy, he believes that Beyonce is the super villain that everybody thinks that Jay-Z is, and if there is one person that can tell, it's 50 Cent, because he has been beefing with the Carters for a long time, so he has a lot of dirt on them. I mean, one thing 50 is known for is digging up dirt on his ops. If you don't know the story of how 50 Cent and Jay-Z became became ops, let me spill the tea. To be fair, it was all 50's fault because he randomly dissed Jay-Z and many other rappers in his song, How to Rob. He took shots at Jay-Z and many other rappers in the song, and he was doing it for clout. Five has been a troll since the very beginning, and he was chasing clout with the song. He went after a whole bunch of other top artists too, from Lil Kim to Foxy Brown, Diddy, Missy Elliott, Will Smith, you name it. Nobody was safe from 50's trolling antics. 50 Cent threw shade at Jay-Z with lines like, "What? Jigga just sold like 4 milli? He got something to live for. Don't want a man putting 4 through that Bentley coupe door. Ouch, talk about hitting where it hurts." Most rappers who 50 name dropped saw through him and just ignored him. But Jay-Z has never been the type to let something like that slide. So he hit back with his own diss track titled, It's Hot, Some Like It Hot, where he didn't mince words, rapping, "Go against Jigga, you're dense, I'm about $1. What the F is 50 cents?" And just like that, shots were fired and the beef was ignited. 50 Cent eventually came clean and admitted that he was chasing clout with the song because he wanted the other rappers to respond to him. In an interview with Rolling Stone, 50 Cent said, "When he responded, I was complimented. He wouldn't say nothing back to somebody he didn't think was hot. I never went to radio until after he said that about me. I don't know if my career would be where it's at if he didn't respond." But just because he was chasing clout doesn't mean that the beef wasn't real, because 50 Cent genuinely disliked Jay-Z. In another interview, 50 Cent admitted that the reason he had a problem with Jay-Z was that Jay-Z felt like he was the greatest. In another interview, he said, "He has a king complex. He thinks he's effing Jesus. You know what I mean? This Jehovah-ish. I'm just watching him. He said something one time I didn't like. Those little things, subliminal things. For me, that's the punk way to do things." Jay-Z tried to deny the rumors of the beef, saying that he and 50 were fine, but 50 was not about to let this narrative fly, and he was quick to come out and deny that he and Jay-Z were on good terms. He also claimed that they would never be friends, saying, "We don't have those kinds of relationships. These people are people I associate with. We are in the same business. We are not necessarily friends. We don't call each other for no reason." Now, most people seem to think that Solange is the only Knowles sister who knows how to throw hands, but as it turns out, Beyonce also throws hands as well, and she literally stepped up to 50 Cent and dared him to step up to her and tussle for daring to beef with her man. Even though she and Jay-Z had not started dating when his beef with 50 Cent started, she still took Jay-Z's side, and things got so messy that 50 Cent revealed that she even tried to fight him.
She jumped out, she was like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Wait, what is you doing? That stuff, that's me and Jay-Z stuff. This ain't got nothing to do with you, bro. Don't come
So
on."
Hov wasn't there?
I'm talking to Jay.
You talking to Jay?
As soon as I talked to Jay, she jumped out, came over, and I said, "Oh,
they about to jump you."
You lucky Solange wasn't there.
Yeah, you lucky Solange wasn't there.
Solange was there, I would have had to reboot.
Beyonce squaring up to 50 Cent for the beef is kind of wild because, girl, what? But this explains why 50 Cent has never bought into all that talk of her being an innocent bystander, because he has seen what she is capable of doing, and he actually believes she's more than meets the eye, and not in a good way. But that's not the end of the story, because 50 Cent also believes that while Jay-Z might be bad, Beyonce could be even worse. He also believes that contrary to what people might believe, Beyonce might be Jay-Z's handler and might be the mastermind behind a lot of the shady stuff they've been accused of. Allegedly, of course. I don't know if y'all remember this, but Beyonce's former bodyguard spilled the tea about 2 years ago, accusing her and Jay-Z of blackballing singer Carrie Hilson's career.
Beyonce and Jay-Z will do anything to destroy anyone who speaks out against them. Okay, I get the threats, but you have to remember one thing. I know your deepest secrets. I know so much about you and what you've done. I know so much on how you got where you are, how you stepped on many people. Beyonce, how you guys ended Carrie Hilson's career because she said something about you. That's how hateful you guys are, how you step on anybody to stay on the top.
For some reason, Jay-Z was dragged to filth for that, but for some reason, Beyonce didn't catch any heat for that because, again, people thought that she was his victim and was being forced against her will. Her bodyguard even claimed that the Carters' marriage was nothing more than a business arrangement, which, to be honest, didn't exactly shock a lot of people, given the rumors that have been swirling about their relationship for a long time.
Your relationship was a business relationship, financial, to get to the top, to become billionaires. There's no love there. See, what's done in the dark will definitely come in the light. Keep your threats up.
But 50 Cent took it a step further, claiming that there's even more to it than just business. Y'all might have not noticed this, but 50 has been dropping hints about Beyonce's shady side for a long time, like the time he backed Beyonce's former drummer, who came forward with some seriously concerning and terrifying accusations against her. But mysteriously, she went quiet after that, leading many to wonder just what Beyonce might be hiding behind the scenes or what could have happened. According to the drummer, whose name is Kimberly Thompson, Beyonce allegedly dabbles in the occult. She spoke to the Daily Beast, and the interviewer said she claims that for some reason, Bey has started a campaign of harassment against her. That includes extreme witchcraft, dark magic, and magic spells of sexual molestation. She also claims the Lemonade star murdered her kitten. Thompson believes Beyonce has been tapping her phones and controlling her finances. It's unclear why Thompson believes the singer is allegedly doing all this to her, but she is adamant it all stems from Bey. Kimberly also went live on Instagram to speak on Beyonce.
And this person was casting spells and manipulating me and controlling my job situations, my relationships, all just a very wicked tactic to just keep me down and keep me under some type of control.
This situation caused a lot of drama, and some fans started to suspect that there was something going on there. At first, a lot of people ignored Kimberly's claims and talked about how she was looking for clout or trying to get attention by using Beyonce's name, which is pretty much guaranteed to get her media attention. But when she took things a step further and filed a restraining order against Beyonce, well, that got people's attention real quick. Even 50 Cent sat up and took notice. But according to 50, there's more to this story because Beyonce has been hiding in plain sight for a long time. Y'all know how I said that Jay-Z has been chatting on Beyonce for a long time from the start? People have been mocking her for a long time for just sitting down and taking this, letting Jay-Z walk all over her. Now, according to 50 Cent, she's not just sitting back and taking it. Nope, she's been quietly making moves behind the scenes. You know how Jay-Z went on and on about how they worked through their marriage after his infidelity, how they patched things up? Well, according to 50 Cent, there's more to that story.
For us, we chose to fight for our love, for our family, to give our kids a different outcome. You see, to break that cycle. For black men and women, to see a different outcome. Like you were saying, it's not this celebrity couple. We were never a celebrity couple. We were a couple who just happened to be celebrities. Like real people.
Yeah. But then 50 has more to say about this, and he is claiming that family therapy wasn't the only thing that helped them fix their marriage, because there is another angle to the whole thing, and let me tell you, it's one big juicy scandal. So here's the tea. 50 Cent claimed that Beyonce has been allegedly taking matters into her own hands and handling Jay-Z's side pieces, if you catch my drift. He claimed that she allegedly goes over and beyond to ruin the lives of Jay-Z's side pieces. And it's not just that 50 Cent was making things up, because recent reports have surfaced suggesting Beyonce's involvement in Tiara Marie's career downturn. Now, back in the day, everyone knew Jay-Z had a soft spot for Tiara, but we chalked it up to her undeniable talent.
Tiara Marie.
Yeah.
Okay, and she's the first lady of the rock?
She's the princess.
According to 50 Cent, there was more to the story. Rumor has it, Tiara wasn't just involved with Jay-Z. She was allegedly messing around with a few other guys too, despite not being legal at the time.
As I have told you before, Aaliyah was SA'd as a minor by several producers and was treated like a piece of meat to be bought and sold by different producers up until the time that she passed away. A couple of years after she passed away, a fairly large record producer started making some calls about a singer he had working out of his studio. She was 15 and eager, and soon different label heads were scouting her. And this is allegedly Tiara Marie. When they heard her voice and then saw how she looked, they started scouting her even harder. She was sleeping with one of the producers, the one who made the initial calls. And I don't know who this is, you guys can take a guess. Soon, she was sold to this pseudo corn star and celebrity sibling. You can also take a guess at that one. He loves controlling vulnerable women. It is his specialty. Anyway, he started controlling the career of this singer. He brought her to the attention of this A+ list rapper and mogul, allegedly Jay-Z.
Another spicy blind item went viral that claimed that Beyonce allegedly caught wind of the affair and demanded that Jay-Z cut ties with Tiara. But allegedly, that wasn't enough for Beyonce. Allegedly, she took it a step further and decided to sabotage Tiara's career as well.
And he signed her to a deal. By the time all of the ink was dry, she was just shy of being legal. But that didn't stop the mogul. He liked to sample the new talent. He was sampling her on a fairly regular basis, but he was also involved with the current A-plus list singer who was in his face every day. And this could allegedly be Beyonce. The thing is, though, that corn star in charge of her career was feuding with the mogul and told the mogul he would not be allowed to hook up with the singer again. I assume he thought the mogul would think she was something special. Apparently not as special as the current A-plus lister, because the new signee was dropped and the word was put out on the street. No record deals for her from any label. When someone ignored the edict, they were paid a visit. If the visits were ignored, then other steps were taken. This was a total lockdown of a career that lasted almost a decade.
Now, what makes this blind item even more intriguing is that L.A. Reid, the music exec overseeing Tyra and Rihanna at the time, once mentioned that Beyonce steered his attention toward Rihanna over Tyra. Seems like there's more to this than meets the eye.
We had a showcase, and at the showcase there were two artists performing. Her name is Tyra Marie, and she's a really sweet girl. And the truth is I was paying a little more attention to her than I was to Rihanna. After the showcase, you know, Beyonce just gave me one of those looks, and he said, that Rihanna girl, she's a beast. And she looked away, right? And I was like, so I did a Rihanna double take.
50 Cent's not holding back with his claims either. He's saying that now that things are heating up, Beyonce's hitting the road. According to him, the divorce is on the horizon because Beyonce's decided to let Jay-Z take the fall for whatever's about to hit the fan, and she's making a swift exit before things turn into a full-blown mess, even if it means throwing her longtime partner under the bus. Remember what the bodyguard spilled about their marriage being all about convenience? Well, according to 50 Cent, that convenience is wearing thin for Beyonce right now, and she's ready to move on, no matter the cost, especially with Jay-Z's bestie Diddy getting the Homeland Security spotlight and whispers of him possibly snitching on Jay-Z. Fans left comments saying, "She only leaving cause his closet is about to be cleaned out. She knows what's in the closet though. She may even have some items in there. Beyonce is complicit in this mess. She knows more than what she is telling. Personally, I am done with the whole mess. And one thing I love about 50 is he tells the truth when exposing someone. They never sue him. Think about it. Yeah, this situation is a hot mess, and 50 is being super bold by spilling this tea because y'all know that Beyonce and Jay-Z don't like it when people speak about them. But let me know how you feel about this situation and then check out this next video."
Right? We was in Vegas. She said, "I come on, I'm talking to her." She jumped out, she was like, "Duh." And I'm like, wait, what is you doing? That stuff, that's me and Jay-Z stuff. This ain't got nothing to do with you, bro. Don't come
So
on.
Ho wasn't there?
I'm talking to Jay.
You talking to Jay?
He's about to jump you.
You lucky Solange wasn't there.
Yeah, you lucky Solange wasn't there.
Solange was there, I would have had to reboot. Solange looked like she popped in that elevator like it was nothing.
Y'all, so it looks like Solange has finally achieved her long-time dream of helping Beyonce escape her marriage with Jay-Z. Because listen, word on the street says that Beyonce has finally left Jay-Z, and it's all thanks to Solange. For those who have missed the tea, Jay-Z's name allegedly got mentioned in his BFF Diddy's ongoing federal RICO case, and the feds are allegedly digging into Jay-Z's past. Considering the numerous allegations that have followed Jay-Z over the years, including alleged murder and blackmail. But let's just say that things might get real bad for him. And the streets are saying that Beyonce knows this all as well, because she is finally moving forward with divorce arrangements after being with Jay-Z for more than 20 years and married for 16. But y'all can bet that Solange is enjoying every bit of it, because they're saying that she's been begging Beyonce to jump Jay-Z for years. And it looks like she might have finally got her wish. But is Beyonce divorcing so that the feds don't dig into her secrets? And is she really going to testify against Jay-Z?
Beyonce and Jay-Z will do anything to destroy anyone who speaks out against them. Okay, I get the threats, but you have to remember one thing. I know your deepest secrets. I know so much about you and what you've done. I know so much on how you got where you are, how you stepped on many people. Beyonce, how you guys ended Carrie Hilson's career because she said something about you. That's how hateful you guys are, how you step on anybody to stay on the top.
Y'all, I'd hate to see the Knowles women conspiring to one-up Jay-Z and help Beyonce escape from him. It's starting to get clearer and clearer that Jay-Z is going down with Diddy and these ongoing RICO case. Because word on the streets is that the feds are closing in on Jay-Z and fast, and he's about to get that Diddy treatment from the feds. Diddy's ongoing RICO case with Homeland Security is threatening to swallow even more celebs than Diddy and his sons. And the first name on his hit list allegedly is Jay-Z. But it's not that much of a surprise, y'all. Jay-Z's name would come up in any case, considering that he's been Diddy's BFF for so many years. Interestingly though, a couple of weeks ago, there were reports that Beyonce was planning to leave Jay-Z and move on with her life, but we didn't know why. At the time, we didn't really know about Diddy's case with the feds or the RICO investigation, and we just thought that he was dealing with some current recent civil lawsuits that were filed by producer Lil Rod. And it wasn't until Homeland Security raided his homes that we knew that this was the subject of a federal investigation, and it was only a few days after that that we found out that there was a RICO charge. Now this explains why Beyonce has been trying to leave him, because the last thing she wants to do is be tied up in that situation. Now if you're wondering why Jay-Z is tied to it, it's because there has been talk for a long time about how Jay-Z and Diddy are allegedly tied up in the same shenanigans. Now at first it was just unconfirmed rumors flying about on social media, but then Ms. Jaguar Wright came out to claim that the two men were involved in some really shady stuff.
You know, camaraderie with honeycombs and aka Diddy. And
why do you give him the honeycombs? Why do you give him honeycombs?
Because he smacks so sweet. That fucking sodomite. Anyway,
now say what you want about Jaguar Wright, but the fact is that nobody's ever come out to sue her for lying, slander, or defamation, and she has been proven right almost every single time. So again, it looks like she might be right again in this case, because now that the feds are involved, an investigation into Jay-Z is imminent. And y'all can bet your bottom dollar that Miss Queen Bee is not about to stick around and go down with this sinking ship. Now, like I said before, she's already had a solid plan in place, allegedly, to end her marriage before us normal people even suspected. And in typical Beyonce fashion, she has gone over and beyond to keep it private, because she knows that the media will be all over the case and story if they find out. And she does not want to deal with all that drama. Not with her new album and impending world tour. So yeah, it sounds exactly like something Beyonce would do. Cause y'all know that she never tells us nothing about her life, and that's how she wants to handle this divorce, allegedly. Well, I guess that would explain why she's been going everywhere on these award shows thanking Jay-Z and sending love to Jay-Z, just to keep us off the sniff of a divorce. Well, blogger Storm Monroe was first to spill the tea about how Beyonce was making plans to leave Jay-Z a couple of months back, and this caused a stir on social media.
Is that they've been living separate lives for a very long time. So they together, but they live in separate. And part of the reason why they're already living separate lives, and we may actually see one of the biggest divorces in Hollywood, is because Jay-Z is up next to be exposed. And it's only so much of these stories that Jay-Z can, he can pay off or he can block. He won't be able to stop this. And she knows it, and he knows it too. As far as who's gonna be the breakout victim / story, I don't know. Yeah, I might have to ask Jason Lee. I don't know. But I'm just letting you know that once that comes out and Jay-Z is exposed for his nefarious past, you're gonna see Beyonce divorce him. Okay? And she may or may not do an interview, but you're gonna their publicist is gonna release something. She's gonna say, "Oh, the Carters have been separated for some time. They built this beautiful life, blah 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 blah."
Storm's comments set the internet on fire, but as crazy as it seems, he wasn't the first to talk about how Jay-Z was being set up to get the Diddy treatment, with multiple lawsuits and people coming out to expose how he is just as bad as Diddy, and maybe even worse than he is. But he has been very careful not to get exposed because he knows just how damaging it's going to be. Now, Jaguar Wright did us a favor last year, and she did not mince her words.
Sean Carter is worse.
Oh, man.
He's smarter. He's patient. He's not sloppy.
Mm-hmm.
This pussy been lining up people he calls friends and stepping to the side while they get hit by the guillotine for 30 fucking years.
But what exactly has Jay-Z been up to that could possibly be worse than we know about Diddy? I mean, Diddy, aka the diddler that y'all lovingly call him. He's been exposed for essaying women and trafficking and a whole lot of other crazy stuff. So how could Jay-Z possibly be that bad that Beyonce is planning to dip? Well, like they say, birds of a feather flock together. And it looks like these two might be flying high in these skies because listen, the things that we're finding out about them are just insane. And it makes sense why the feds are now on Jay-Z's trail too. I mean, thinking back to friendship between Jay-Z and Diddy, it kind of makes sense now. See, now before this, we thought that the worst thing about them was that he cheated on Beyonce and then tried to act like it didn't matter. But as it turns out, his cheating habits have landed him in some pretty tricky situations that allegedly could include murder. Yeah, y'all, let's break it down because I know it sounds crazy. Now, y'all remember in 2011 when Beyonce announced that she was pregnant with Blue Ivy and she almost broke the internet? Well, what we didn't know at the time was that Jay-Z also had a side piece at that same time who was threatening to expose him and humiliate him, to ruin his public image and embarrass Beyonce. According to reports, Jay-Z and Kathy were reportedly involved before he had even started dating Beyonce, but he ultimately chose to commit to Beyonce because, I mean, it's Beyonce. Now, do you remember Jason Lee and his recent threats to reveal some damaging information about Beyonce? Well, Diddy is now suggesting that this might be connected to Kathy's untimely passing. Why? Because Kathy and Jason Lee were tight buddies, and Jason was the one who first spilled the tea about the affair. Now y'all keep this Jason Lee tea in mind because we're gonna circle back to that in a little bit. But here's where the story gets even crazier. Kathy was so upset at Jay-Z for blindsiding her with the news of a baby that she reached out to a reporter, claiming that she was ready to do a tell-all interview where she would talk about her affair with Jay-Z. But it goes without saying that she would have made him look very bad, especially since he was married to Beyonce and she was pregnant with their first child. According to reports, she planned to leak as an act of revenge for Jay-Z blindsiding her with the baby news, and the public was more than eager to find out about the tea regarding her and Jay-Z. But in a shocking twist of events, Kathy passed away less than 24 hours later. Talk about some seriously suspicious timing. But if that wasn't bad enough and shady, every single one of Kathy's social media accounts mysteriously disappeared after her passing, causing people to speculate that she might have been unalived by none other than Jay-Z. People started pointing them fingers at him. The situation got worse with autopsy results because the first autopsy claimed that she died as a result of an injury to the head. But the next thing we knew, the autopsy was canceled, saying the cause of death was listed as an aneurysm. I don't know about y'all, but it seems pretty suspicious because a head injury and an aneurysm are two different things. And y'all are telling me that a coroner made that mistake? Yeah, it's not adding up. And just when you thought you'd heard it all, something else popped up that made it obvious that there was an entire conspiracy surrounding Kathy's passing. Reports from the NYPD detective overseeing the case threw a curveball, contradicting the aneurysm diagnosis. Journalist Claudia Jordan decided to dig deeper into this tangled web of lies, uncovering some jaw-dropping revelations. She wrote, according to an NYPD detective who told me Kathy's cause of death is uncertain, and later today we will have the autopsy and toxicology reports. Right now, the death is considered suspicious. She continued, a 911 call came from an apartment on 130 West 19th Street in Manhattan. An ambulance came and took Kathy because she was sick. They took her to Beth Israel Hospital, and that's where she expired. It was too early to be speculating that an aneurysm killed her. They will be doing an autopsy later today to check out her cause of death. But someone might have given Kathy a bad drug, so they'll do a toxicology and we'll have to wait 2 weeks for that report. Well, the case, interestingly, died out mysteriously after that. And we never heard anything about what happened or the results of that test, which makes it even more suspicious. But Claudia Jordan was not willing to let this die because she has kept an eye on it, and she is now convinced that Jay-Z could have had something to do with Kathy's passing. In a new article, she wrote about the case, and she said, years later, I met sources who knew both Jay-Z, Kathy, and inside information on her death. They strongly believe Jay-Z had her murdered to silence her. One source told me Jay-Z had law enforcement and even coroners in his back pocket. The source also said that there are corrupt coroners in New York City who will rule homicides as natural deaths for cash. Y'all, it sounding like Gotham City out here. What's going on, New York? She continued. In 2020, Crazy Days and Nights reported this. The A-list host model is also an actress. Our host has always stayed quiet about the death of her friend, but has become more convinced over the years that the permanent A+ list rapper had her friend killed. It just seemed too convenient that he wanted her out of the picture, and shortly after he said that, the friend ended up dead. The blind item later revealed the A-list host was Claudia Jordan. The rapper was Jay-Z, and Claudia's friend was Kathy. Okay, so y'all, then back to Jason Lee, right? Y'all remember how Jason tried to blackmail Beyonce last year? Well, according to reports, he claims to have information about Kathy's affair with Jay-Z and her murder, since he was her friend. And according to an insider, that was the last straw for Beyonce. Jay-Z cheating on her was one thing, but her being blackmailed for his actions is the last straw for her. And she has been plotting with her sister Solange, allegedly to get away from Jay-Z. Now, y'all already know that Solange is about that, because she don't even like Jay-Z. And she has been more than eager to help her sister get away from him. So Beyonce doesn't get involved in RICO charges that are inevitably coming. However, there are some mixed reviews because fans believe it and some don't. Because some fans don't believe that Beyonce would ever leave Jay-Z, and some think that she is just trying to run away. They've been leaving comments saying she only leaving because his closet is about to be cleaned out. She knows what's in that closet though. She may even have some items in there. Beyonce is complicit in this mess. She knows more than she is telling. Personally, I am done with the whole mess. And one thing I love about 50 is he tells the truth when exposing someone. They never sue him. Think about it. Not 50 getting in it. Well, y'all, one thing's for sure and two things for certain. It's kind of looking so crazy right now. And I don't think Beyonce is down to ride to the very end. And Jay-Z definitely has 99 problems and the case is one. Hit me. But do you think that Beyonce is really going to leave Jay-Z? I mean, she's still telling them that she loves him on these award shows. Or do you think that that's all a cover? Drop your thoughts and comments below and then check out this next video.